My name is Shonda Thompson, and I was 17 when I found out I was pregnant, and it was in '87. When I had my daughter, I was 18, and a lady named Mary was with MELD at the time, and somebody had referred me to go to the MELD groups, which was like once a week at Shepherd of the Valley Church, and I didn't want to go. I didn't volunteer to go, and I didn't know who. So she was in it was like a van that would come out and get teen moms to go to this group once a week, and she was in the van out. So she found out that I was hanging out at a friend's house that lived by me. She personally came and got me. And she was like, try the group out one time or twice to know if it's something that's for you. And I was so against it, but I ended up going with her when she came and got me, and I loved the group. And I ended up going there afterwards, all the way up until the point where I became a facilitator myself. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to give back what was given to me because I learned so much. I learned a lot because at the time I was living with my mom, and we lived in a project called Black Hawk. And they say when you're in a family, you tend to gear where your family go or whatever. I was the first grandchild that graduated. I knew that I didn't want to be there. When I first moved, I moved into a project called Jane Addams. But I knew when I moved in there, I came from the projects with my mother, and I didn't want to, that's not something I wanted to follow, to keep going. So when I moved in there, I didn't see it as this is what I was going to be or this is where I was going to be. It was just a crutch to get me where I needed to be. So I moved in there, and I went to school for my CNA. I went to Rock Valley for my CNA, and I got my CNA, and I started working at Fairview Nursing Home. And I went to my counselor, and I was telling the counselor, I really don't want to bring my kids up in projects and da-da-da. I just see it as a crutch. And she was like, that's great. There is a program called self-sufficiency program that housing has that you may want to look into. And I looked into it, and it was for working moms. And I got my first home built in '98. And it was built, I put $1,000 down. It was built from the ground. I picked my flooring, colors, whatever. It was wonderful. And I moved into the home. And by that time, I had 4 kids. I have 4 girls, 16, 17, 23, and 25. I raised my girls. I have the 25-year-old and the 23-year-old are both grown and out the house, and they have their own homes. I have a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. So I'm so at peace right now in my life, and I don't regret any of it. I did have kids young, but I knew that, just because obstacles come and this is what it presents you, it's all about what you do with it. It's not the end of the road. Things happen in your life that you cannot change. You either, when you get lemon, you make lemonade, I knew that that's not where I wanted to stop. That's not where I wanted to be. And once I had kids, I didn't want them to see that. I wanted to have goals and plans for them. My oldest daughter, she's in school for nursing. My 23-year-old is in school for respiratory, and then my 17-year-old is going to college. She wants to be a pediatrician. Having MELD involved and having someone that cared, that didn't know me at all. They just had the faith and trusted and loved people generally and just wanted hope for, anybody. Just to have somebody that you don't know to care for you, to want better for you, make you want better for yourself. And I'm just blessed, and I appreciate it.